Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good day, Abid to Dr. Shamini and my fellow friends. My friends and I will be presenting our second task for Curriculum Studies course on how the implementation of the Home-Based Teaching and Learning (PDPR) for students impacted the implementation of Malaysian curriculum. The first presenter is me, Alia Irina Akhtar, followed by Noor Hanim, and Muhammad Aiman will be the last presenter for our presentation. The focus of this presentation is to discuss how the implementation of Home-Based Teaching and Learning (PDPR) for students impacted the implementation of Malaysian education curriculum. Under this topic, we will be presenting the brief overview of the PDPR curriculum implementation in Malaysia during the COVID-19 pandemic and two issues in implementing the curriculum, which are access issue and literacy issue. Home-based teaching and learning, or PDPR, is a curriculum where teaching and learning is implemented at home, community center, or other suitable location. It can be implemented online and or offline in a structured and organized manner. Online PDPR is implemented when students are unable to go to school due to a disaster, pandemic, or any other reason that has been approved by the state registrar. It is based on a concept that no child should miss out on education. The Malaysian Education Development Plan 2013 to 2025 stipulates that every student has access to education to achieve self-potential for facing future life. Therefore, students are entitled to the opportunity to pursue an education even though they cannot attend school. Home-based teaching and learning, or PDPR, ensures that learning basics are fulfilled by utilizing various creative methods that match student ability. PDPR also prioritizes a student's socio-emotional well-being, apart from provide flexibility, as teachers can utilize single or multiple PDPR methods to deliver their lessons. There are three types of PDPR that can be implemented by teacher for their teaching and learning, which are online PDPR, offline PDPR, and lastly, off-site PDPR. Online PDPR occurs when there is access to internet facilities and devices that allow students to learn in real time. Online PDPR can be done via learning platforms such as the Digital Educational Learning Initiative Malaysia, DELIMA, Cikgu Tube, EduWeb TV, and social media applications such as WhatsApp and Telegram. Teachers can also use applications such as Google Meet or Microsoft Teams live streaming for their lesson. Teachers can also implement multimedia resources such as gamification, videos, audio clips, ebooks, and online recording or assignments for their lesson. Second type of PDPR that can be implemented by teachers for their teaching and learning is the offline PDPR. Offline PDPR occurs without internet access, but students learn using devices such as computers, laptops, tablets, or their smartphone. Learning can also occur using textbook or other learning materials. Offline PDPR also can be done using downloaded PDP materials in the form of videos, audios, slides, notes, and exercise. The materials are downloaded when an internet connection is available and delivered through suitable communication mediums such as email or WhatsApp. The last PDPR that can be implemented by teachers for their teaching and learning is the off-site PDPR. Off-site PDPR takes place at a location such as community center or a premise declared as a temporary evacuation center due to a disaster or pandemic. Off-site PDPR is implemented in accordance with the Education Ministry's Circular No. 8 of 2016 Guideline for Teaching and Learning Management during a disaster. Learning can take place independently or with the guidance of an academic support team consisting of district education officers or appointed school teachers. Off-site PDPR can also be implemented in other locations that are suitable with the consent of the school and parents or guardian as well as the community. The off-site PDPR team consists of teachers identified by the school.
Since my friend has presented on the brief overview of curriculum implementation during home-based learning or PDPR, so now I am going to present on the first issue emerged from the implementation of home-based learning, and the issue is access towards learning during PDPR. As we generally know, the implementation of PDPR has been carried out due to the pandemic of COVID-19. Many pupils are struggle to get access towards their learning, as during this new normal, the process of teaching and learning took place mostly via online platforms to replace the face-to-face interaction in normal classroom setting. So, during the online mode of PDPR, the access issue arose because of two major factors, which are the first one is the unavailability of devices. This could be because of pupils depend on their parents' devices. So for those pupils whom both parents are working, they need to wait until their parents come back from work so that they can get access to the materials given by teacher on online platforms. In the more less fortunate cases, there are families that do not have any gadgets at home at all. And the second factor is the poor internet connection to get access to online learning. So this has hindered pupils from joining PNP session conducted via Google Meet, Zoom or Microsoft Teams. And moreover, the poor internet connection make it hard for pupils to open the link for materials and activities prepared by their teachers. According to a recent article written by the Malay Mail 2021, lack of devices and poor internet connections are the major issues that need to be addressed in order to embrace the new normal of teaching and learning amidst this pandemic of COVID-19. Because these issues could affect the effectiveness of PDPR, especially among the less fortunate students. Therefore, the National Union of Teaching Profession NUTP suggested a few solutions to address this issue. The first one is government should give emphasis on efforts to provide reliable internet access and digital devices for students. And the second suggestion is government can also provide tax holiday or tax exemption for parents to purchase devices for their children to be used during this PDPR. The issue of access towards learning during PDPR not just occur during online mode, but it also occurs during offline mode. Based on the responses and feedbacks that I have received from senior teachers and relatives that have been teaching in rural areas, they mention that it is difficult to reach pupils who live in rural areas just to distribute the materials. Teachers also found it difficult to retrieve pupils' worksheet after distributing it. Not all of the pupils did the task given and sent it back to their teachers, and some of them even turned in their tasks late. So, all in all, the issue of access towards learning should be addressed seriously so that all pupils, despite the limitations that they had, could learn conducively and effectively, although amidst this unprecedented situation.
Now, let's move on to the next issue, which is the literacy issue that has been pertinent to the implementation of home-based teaching and learning or PDPR in Malaysia. So first of all, home-based teaching and learning or PDPR has become a challenge not only to the teachers but also to the pupils and the parents. This is because some of them doesn't have sufficient knowledge to use the technology or engage in online teaching and learning efficiently. As said by NST in 2017, instructors or teachers are feeling increasing pressure to use IT, but they commonly face several obstacles when attempting to use technological teaching technique. This shows that they doesn't have the required knowledge to integrate technology in their learning. Other than that, Suhaimi in 2020 has also stated that even though there is subject for digital knowledge such as Year 4 textbook of Design and Technology or RBT, apparently it is still not enough to properly teach students the ability to use the internet and technology devices in a beneficial, useful and safe way. Apart from that, the inconsistency in PDPR has become alarming because it will increase the rate of learning poverty in this country. What is learning poverty? So learning poverty, according to the World Bank in 2019, saying that learning poverty is the rate of children under the age 10 years that cannot read at all. So as the World Bank says in 2021, 50% of all children in low and middle income countries are not able to read proficiently by age of 10, and inconsistency of effective teaching due to COVID-19 pandemic would make it worse. Before we look further into this issue, let's take a look at what does digital literacy means. So digital literacy means is the ability to find, evaluate, create and communicate information on digital platforms including computers and mobile devices. In addition, digital literacy also is a degree of technological proficiency including understanding online communication ethics and knowing students' rights and responsibility in an online teaching environment. So, a student who knows how to post pictures in social media or texting in different media platforms such as WhatsApp and Telegram still doesn't count as digital literacy. As I said earlier, digital literacy has bigger definition which includes the usage of technological devices efficiently and also the knowing the responsibility and ethic in using them. Now, let's take a look at how digital literacy issue affect the implementation of curriculum during home-based teaching and learning. There are several changes that has been made by the stakeholders to support the pupils to participate and engage in online teaching and learning. First of all, pupils and parents need to master the basic in ICT in order to join the online classes conducted via various online platforms such as Google Meet and Microsoft Teaching Teams. Pupils and parents also need to be digital literate so that they could get access to the online materials which was shared through multiple platforms such as Google Classroom, Quizzes and many more. Next, there is also initiative from the government which is the use of multimodal technology to deliver learning content such as Didik TV and Astro Tutor TV to help students with no access to online home-based teaching and learning. As the usual face-to-face teaching method is not available due to the COVID-19 pandemic, these changes are a must to ensure that the pupils were not left behind in their education. In a nutshell, access and literacy issues have a big impact in the implementation of curriculum in Malaysia. Lack of access to suitable devices and internet connection will hinder the pupils from joining online classroom and accessing the materials provided by the teachers. While lack of digital literacy among teachers, parents and pupils will prevent them from participating in home-based teaching and learning or PDPR efficiently. This will lead to another literacy issue which is the increase of learning poverty in our country. That's all for today. Thank you for watching and listening. Have a nice day. Goodbye.